So we divide ourselves into possibly three parts. One is what we call as academic formal education. And then we go into test prep. And then we go into vocational training. So on the academic side, we do manage K-12 schools. We manage an international school. We manage about 8 to 10 colleges, which do BCom, BBA, BSMS, stuff like that. That's on the academic side. On the test prep side, we do commerce coaching under the brand of JK Shah classes. We do state central government exams under the brand of Veranda Race. We do software education under the brand of Edureka. And we work with many of the IITs, IIMs, Purdue's of the world, Cambridge of the world to deliver certification, diploma, and degree programs jointly with them. Most of our businesses are focused in India, except for a few pockets of B2C where people do dial in, especially the online programs. We have customers who are dialing in from basically English-speaking US, UK countries. The building blocks make the strength of the business that you build. So I'll give examples. JK Shah is a business that we acquired. So for us, two underlying defining principles are it should have pedigree, it should have profitability. Otherwise, we don't. Because for me, they are so fundamental. And what does pedigree mean? Of course, it means that they have been there for a long time. JK Shah has been there for 40 years. So it establishes 2-3 very key factors for education. One, I know it works because it has worked for 40 years. So it's not a model that was born in the last 2-3 years in a very contrived environment. And so, I'm making bets. These are no bets. These have been doing it for 40 years and produced some, stars who are, luminaries today in the industry, like a Piyush Goyal, like a Nilesh of Kotak. So it's produced a lot of great guys. So I know it's a very sustaining model because the past has, proved it very well. Two, which is very relevant to education, it creates great testimonials. It creates a lot of word of mouth, which is very powerful. So in any of these businesses, what finally hurts is what is called CAC, customer acquisition cost. If your revenues are growing fast, if your acquisition cost is also galloping, then you make a loss-making business. You might show growth in top line, but you're loss-making because it's costing you so much to acquire a customer. A pedigree ensures your acquisition cost is driven down significantly because people are coming to you because somebody told them, saying, well, I studied there, I am gold medalist, so I think you should definitely go there. That's very powerful. And that reduces the acquisition costs. So pedigree for me is about knowing that this model has worked, so chances are it has got legs to continue to grow, and it creates a ring of word of mouth and testimonials, reduces acquisition costs. So the future profitability of the business is also driven by what has been achieved over the last so many years. One of the businesses that we acquired was called Race. It used to be called Chennai Race. And they were largely into offline education. Fantastic results, 10-year-old. But I think when COVID came, they were not sort of ready for it. So a lot of the physical locations got shut down. They were switching to online, but not at the speed that was required to sustain the business. The offline created so much of costs that doesn't just disappear because COVID shut things down. So the costs continued in some form or the other. Revenues just went to a, abysmal level. So they got really hurt. So we went in to sort of build them out, initially just online. So we set up studios in one of the facilities in Kadar Namaskant Road, set up 10 studios, built it out at record speeds, involved some people from our production business to speed things up, and got them launched as an online program under the brand of Veranda Race. And then, of course, as COVID slowly started retreating, we went back, opened up a lot of the online centers and built it out. So a business that almost went down to doing 20-30 lakhs a month at the peak of COVID This year is expected to deliver as a whole about 150 crores.
But this,
Yes. So it's grown. Our acquisition cost was very little, but we were at the right time and a great team. One of them is a preschool. Because to us, it feeds into a system we are already building. The other one is a study abroad. Because a lot of students who we have, today the aspiration to go abroad is pretty significant. So over the last 40 years, you can see the change, and this is not just me or my family, it's symptomatic of how India has moved. Affordability, affluence has gone up. There are more people, not just NBFC, even banks have come forward to provide loans for people who are going abroad to study. The awareness has significantly gone. Every family almost has some extended part of the family who is living abroad, worked abroad, come back. So the knowledge transfer is absolute. And all this internet and social media has ensured that, the university in the US just is like next door. So a lot of people are going abroad. So for a study abroad is an important segment. They're not there today. But that's something that we are on the lookout for. There are many assets, good assets that are there. And as I said, we look for pedigree and profitability. We are finding a few. At the same time, we wouldn't want to do anything like, and this was characterized by the sector where people are doing things like 10 times revenue, 20 times revenue. We do single digit multiple of profit. So we sort of see ourselves, at a minimum going towards about 550 crores of top line. There are a few things that we are working on. If some of them should turn out well, it will probably head towards 600. We're really not sure. It's early stage of the year. We had declared an operating profit of about an EBITDA of about 62 crores, adding back ESOPs and all that. So adjusted was about 65. We expect to be able to at least double this in terms of profitability. So, which also means that our EBITDA margins will start going into the low 20s from the current mid-teens. So that's also an effort. So we are creating efficiencies as we grow to not just grow top line, but also ensuring the percentage of profitability is going up. More than, I think, finance, we had a lot of one-time costs this year because we refinanced a lot of financials into Barings Private Equity. So foreclosure charges, prepayment penalties, all of that had to be borne, paid. We had depreciation relating to acquisitions we have done. So those are being taken up. Hopefully if things go well, not just on an EBITDA level, even at the PAT level, that's the internal effort, that to actually be profitable at a PAT level.